Inflation is crushing everything you've built. Prices go up, but your profits? They barely move. You feel it every day, the slow choke on your margins, the headache of forecasting when the cost of everything refuses to stay steady. You're not just fighting numbers. You're fighting a hidden machine that no one talks about. Not just supply chains or central bank moves, but forces way under the surface, quietly pulling the strings and crushing those who don't see them coming. First, stop blaming simple answers like money printing alone. That's just the surface noise. The real game is about how power hides inside markets and policy, rigged in ways that protect old players while trapping everyone else in rising price traps. Here's the brutal truth. Inflation isn't random. It's a tool wielded by governments and monopolies to shift wealth without anyone noticing. They keep interest rates low enough to push debt, but high enough so your business costs spiral, while asset prices soar for those in the know. You're stuck in the middle, paying for mistakes you didn't make. Forget the myth that inflation is just about too much money chasing too few goods. That's textbook nonsense from economists who never built or scaled anything real. Look instead at the unchecked concentration of industry power. Too many sectors have a handful of companies controlling supply and pricing, squeezing margins from producers, and feeding into relentless price rises. That cartel-level control is invisible on paper but felt in every dollar you spend. Now, get this. Labor markets are knotting everything tighter. You hear about wage inflation like it's a cause, but it's actually a side effect of broken incentives. Policies push quick raises, but investments in worker productivity and innovation lag. This isn't about paying workers more. It's about fixing the system that traps talent and capital in low-growth cycles, forcing prices up without any real gains in output. If your team isn't creating real extra value, every dollar you pay them just fuels price pressures downstream. Here's where you stop spinning in circles and start owning the fight. Act like this is your industry, your country, your future on the line, because it is. Press your suppliers hard on contracts and timelines, like your business depends on it, because it does. Hunt down inefficiencies that others ignore and cut them like a scalpel. Not just general cost cutting, but aggressive, surgical moves that disrupt the status quo. You don't negotiate with invisible forces. You break them by reassembling your network, diversify suppliers, renegotiate terms, go direct to producers, think vertically, integration if you have to. Next, double down on building teams that innovate, not just work. Push your people beyond okay salaries into real ownership, real stakes tied to breakthroughs. Stop treating labor as a cost to inflate. Treat it as a lever to create new value that makes mountains of extra profits, not just waits for price hikes to catch up. Train relentlessly, upgrade skills, push people to automate and create or fire them. The cost of holding on to mediocrity will bury your company. Don't wait for governments or central banks to fix this mess. They won't. They are tangled in the same system that fuels inflation. Instead, align your capital with ventures that build real, durable value, not hype. Invest in technologies and markets that challenge concentrated power. Support your founders and innovators who refuse to play by old rules. The future belongs to those who see inflation not as a victim, but as the battlefield to take control. This is more than survival. It's domination. Finally, if you're stuck feeling powerless, remember, real influence comes from connecting with the few who get it. Build networks, share intel, move fast, and back the bold. Join the small but fierce circle that rewrites the rules. When everyone else complains, they innovate. When markets groan under weight, they push through. Inflation isn't your enemy if you treat it like the clear sign that the old game is rigged. It's a call to rewrite the game. You want to beat inflation in developed nations? Then the time to act isn't tomorrow. It's right now. Get ruthless with costs, brutal with inefficiencies, obsessed with innovation, and laser-focused on who controls your supply chains and markets. Stop hoping for relief from outside forces. Take the fight to the root. Because if you don't do it, someone else will. Someone who's sharper, more connected, more relentless. And you'll be left choking on rising prices, watching profits and opportunities slip away. This isn't theory. It's survival. It's war. So fight like your future depends on it. Because it does. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check the featured link to discover more.